When you were born, were you destined to be the person you are now? Or were you shaped by circumstance? I think it's a bit of both. Everyone is born with unique DNA, which informs much of how our bodies and brains develop. But our surroundings and actions can alter that path, either for better or for worse. At the beginning of our journey, we need guides like teachers and parents to help us find our way. The job of guiding others is not easy because everyone has a different path. But anyone who's had a good mentor already knows the positive impact they can have.
I'm Jen Welger, and I am the Executive Director and co-founder of Temple Grandin School here in Boulder. I came to the field of autism and neurodiversity in education because I have a son, Micah, who was diagnosed with Asperger's at the age of 3. And so from that point on, I decided to learn all that I could about it and make a way for him in the education system. And when he got up through middle school, the school that he was attending was in danger of possibly closing. And so myself and the current head of school at that time and another parent looked at the kids who were in that program and saw a lot of similarities in their learning needs around neurodiversity and talked about some ways that we could maybe augment that program. And the further we got down that road, the more it seemed like we needed to start fresh.
The school and the people in it and the people working with the students have really learned a lot of new strategies and new kind of approaches to helping people achieve their full potential. And so I think even from when I graduated to what I've seen in more recent years, there's been a lot of growth. But when I was there, a lot of fond memories of building community, some bumps in the road, but I think on the whole, I've been really pleased to see where it's gone.
Neurodiversity is a new way of viewing learning disabilities. The idea is simply that while some brains are different, there is not only one correct brain type. I was diagnosed with autism when I was 12. For those who don't know, autism, or autism spectrum disorder, is an umbrella diagnosis that covers a wide spectrum of unconventional ways of thinking. It's usually marked by difficulty socializing, repetitive behaviors, a difficulty learning language, or an irregular amount of stimulus from sensory inputs. But everybody with autism experiences it differently. That's why it's impossible for a single person to accurately represent the entire community. Or as one saying goes, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism.
I had no speech until age 4. All of the standard symptoms of autism. I had excellent speech therapy starting at age 2.5. I can't emphasize enough the importance of early intervention.
My greatest strengths are probably taking care of animals, especially my special interest hamsters.
Definitely my empathy. It's rare that I don't feel empathy towards another person.
But I can think really fast. I can process things.
I'd like to say I'm fairly creative, humble. It's odd if people say they're humble.
I'm really good at thinking logically. I program a lot, and that really helps for that.
One of the things I struggle with is finding stuff that I'm interested in, and also just like worrying about me and not other people.
Like, this world isn't made for us. If I walk into a grocery store and they're just blasting music, the fluorescent lights are too bright, there's too many people, too many things, it's just too much.
Temper. I can get fairly angry fairly easily. Though the way it works for me is I get angry fast, but then I calm down fast too. And my general tactic for that is just to step away.
Because I could go on about social justice and wanting to change the world all day, but at the end of the day, it's the thing that probably stresses me out the most.
My greatest challenge is usually getting things done. I'll start something and I'll get halfway through it or 3/4 the way through it, and then I won't finish it.
Social interactions is a big one. That's reading social cues, things like that.
These students deeply want to be understood. They've almost all, many have had experiences in public schools or traditional schools, other kinds of educational settings where for whatever reason they were not well understood.
It was a very toxic environment with a lot of people being really aggressive and just acting like they're better than me.
It was terrible there because I was bullied constantly. I had a roller backpack back then, and it would be constantly getting kicked while I was going down the hallway. People at lunch would dump drinks that they just bought from the cafeteria right on my clothes. And people would reach across the table, knock my food into my lap. And then it was just a terrible place for me. So that's why I'm very happy I found TGS.
I've always had friends. I've never been like a loner, but those friends have never been too good for me. And I've had a lot of toxic friends, and it took a lot to find those friends in the first place, so the fact that they never treated me too well was always kind of frustrating to me.
I was the only kid in my elementary school, which was a public school, that I knew of who had a legitimate autism diagnosis. I was very often picked on, both like physically, like people would take my things, like damage my things. People would like pinch me or like do little things that were specifically done to annoy me. There would be like little kids, like kids that were younger than me, who would call me the R word, just out of nowhere in the middle of the hallway. They did nothing. And when I was in the 4th grade, which was when my bullying started to get really bad, I was suspended the last 3 weeks of the year because it had gotten to the point where I was having to physically defend myself because they weren't helping me.
I still remember my days in public middle school before I found TGS. It wasn't as bad as what some other autistic people have experienced, though I was struggling more than most of my peers. Going from having one teacher who got to know me in elementary school to 5 different teachers with varying levels of patience was a big transition. But that was a cakewalk compared to the social chaos of the large student body of people who I couldn't for the life of me understand. I tried my hardest to mask my differences, and while I don't think I did so very convincingly, the attempt had me in a state of constant worry and exhaustion. However, when I visited TGS to see if it was a good fit, there was a very different feeling. One of acceptance rather than judgment, joy instead of stress, and openness to learning overtaking the rampant insecurity that I imagine is in the majority of adolescents.
So our school mascot is the Phoenix, and it's significant in that this school and this community provides for a lot of students a fresh start. They've had maybe some negative experiences that have brought them down, but out of all of that, they're able to rise up and go on to great things. In the beginning, it was all about creating a community of belonging for these kids who were being, not always intentionally, but often excluded from other learning environments. And we wanted them to have a place where they could come to school and, have a teenage school experience that worked for them.
Different is not less, and that there are many different things that make Copeland different from other kids, but that does not mean that those social interactions are less or that they're not important. And he became just much more confident, and I think he realized that being himself was okay, and he kind of realized the amazing person that he was trying to mask all those years. So it really had a huge, wonderful impact on our family.
We go through a lot of curriculum. So we started out this year really trying to focus on who you are as a student, who you are as an individual, and who you are as a learner. We play games, and a lot of parents, when we're telling them about our programming, they kind of look at me, why are you playing games? And it's by design. So what games teach our students is perspective taking, whose turn is it? abstract thinking, because you're not just thinking about yourself, you're thinking about who you're playing the game with, what is the point of the game, and emotional regulation. I didn't win the game, but I still want so-and-so to be my friend, so what do I have to do? What strategies can I employ so I can stay regulated, so this person will still want to play games with me and it can be fun?
I've been to public school, private school, language immersion schools, boarding schools, girls only schools, so a lot of different schools. And this is the first school where I felt like I've truly been welcomed and like people care about me.
They supported my passion so much, and I was always told by so many people that there were so many things that I couldn't do as somebody with autism and as somebody like just neurodivergent in general. And they pushed me to continue creating and pushed me to become a better artist. The like overwhelming amount of support that I got from them when it comes to my passions.
And I just love hamsters. So I decided after one of my hamsters passed, her name was Greta, that's how I named the hamster rescue, I decided to start a nonprofit in her memory. And it's been working out great. I had already started it before I came to TGS. However, I hadn't really done anything with it until after I went to TGS. Confidence I got from there enabled me to actually start rescuing the hamsters.
Christmas parties, Halloween parties, those were always a lot of fun. It kind of was a way for students to show the unique sides of themselves, like with costuming, introducing me to some of the most important people in my life, and my life would not be the same as it is now if I had not met those people.
Everyone you just meet just gets you, be it staff or student. And I just wish more people were just, I guess, more understanding.
I loved Fridays, the fact that we did have a day at the end of the week. We got to like go to the rec center, do like physical activity, and then take other classes that were meant to be fun.
So today we're doing one of our +1 Fridays. One of ours is llamas. And we come to a local farm where they have some llamas do llama things.
I mean, last year we brought the llamas to school, and I worked for Lee over the summer. I wanted to be like some sort of ranch hand. That was like my dream, and I was like, llamas, best thing.
This is another reason why I think all those hands-on classes should be in the schools, because they expose you to careers.
Wow, I got so lucky. I found a hidden gem. I'm so lucky I didn't get one of those jobs I had applied for earlier, because this place is amazing, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Instead of expanding up too much upon a school like this, if there could be lots of schools like this that are suited for more than just maybe the autism specific kind of focus, and for other neurodivergent students in different categories, for them to have an environment like this would be really nice.
While I see TGS as a wonderful school, and I'm glad that it exists, it's not perfect, and it can only help so many kids, both because of its small size and its limited resources. That's why I believe the best way to make the most of the hope it provides is for all schools to learn something from their methods, so they can better cater to a neurodiverse student body. While students with ASD might especially benefit from some of these strategies, all students will have a more engaging and fulfilling experience at school.
What got me turned around was my science teacher. I can't emphasize enough the importance of good teachers. It's just so important. And he gave me interesting projects to do, so that got me interested in studying.
A lot of the ideas that I had for the schools that I wanted to be a part of creating were ideas that have been implemented at Temple Grandin School, were my ideas what any new school should do, that public education should do more of.
If I can boil it down to just the two words, it's the socio-academic.
Well, the socio-academic program is a term derived from Temple Grandin School. I believe we're the only school that's utilizing this program. The academic component to the program is for students to have their 4 core academic classes: math, science, English, and social studies. And then the socio component of our school, which makes our school so unique, and that socio component addresses things such as social communication skills we're working on, executive functioning skills, relationships, life skills.
The way I would summarize what our socio classes are is all the things you wish you would have in high school. You think about leaving high school and like, I didn't know how to do financial literacy, I didn't understand taxes, I didn't understand relationships. We touch on every single aspect of that. Relationships are a part of our everyday life, and they're extremely important and valuable, and they tend to be an area of significant challenge for our students.
Autism presents a fairly significant set of challenges, which again vary by student, but we don't want to say that it's only strengths.
Yeah,
but if we lead with strengths, and if we work to expand those strengths, I think that the challenges kind of fade away.
How they taught us how to like read faces and like in social situations, and just like reading social cues, being able to like read those social cues has been really helpful.
Kids don't get left behind here because there's only 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them in the room. We try to provide challenging academic classes, and the small setting really allows for a lot of discussion and everyone can participate.
So many benefits to having these small class sizes and really seeing if the students are actually learning and engaged in the material that we're presenting. The ability to stop and slow down and make sure that learning is actually occurring rather than just rushing through to the next, thing on the list.
Hi everyone, my name is Lucas Harrison. I am the Activities Director and local Dungeon Master here at Temple Grandin School. I'm here to talk a little bit about how morning meeting is a very important part of our process within our day. So morning meeting is a very important opportunity for transition for students and staff alike, as we have the opportunity to move from our home into the school time. Usually also get to learn a lot of fun and exciting things as we invite community members, students, as well as other staff to talk about some of the things that they find important within life. So we can talk about tabletop gaming, we can talk about painting and artistry, or we may bring in community members who had a hand in bringing in satellites into space.
The more that teachers can devote to relationship development with their students, getting to know them outside of their school, outside of whether they get an A or how many problems they get right or wrong on their math assignment, just again peels back the layers, helps the students to feel more comfortable.
I had lots of really great connections with my teachers while I was there, and I was very close with a lot of them.
Staff member, I'm usually assigned into a couple of the academic classes throughout the day, helping students, making sure that they are utilizing their planners, their self-regulation skills, so basically their executive functioning skills. I'm making sure supporting students in that way, as well as behavior management within the classroom, helping teachers out.
Yeah, Maura is one of those people that just unbelievable. She just changes your life, and she has helped so much to help us understand Copeland better, and to also it feels like a true partnership.
The general timeline, and I think that the most important ones were when the first diagnosis of autism was, which was 1942, and then
Personal Projects is a program that has been with us since the very founding of TGS, and I think the critical thing about it is it really addresses the 3 main programmatic domains that we're working with our students. So it works in the academic realm, it works in the social realm, and it works in the executive function realm. So basically how it works is students enroll in this class, Personal Projects class, and the class meets every day for about 45 minutes, and within the class they are assigned to work on a project. And the topic of that project is usually of their choosing. The goal of that being when they go on to college or workplaces that have teams and projects, they won't be intimidated by a long-term project. So they will have a process that they know how to do. It focuses on time management. So each week, students have deadlines and goals that they're trying to complete from start to finish of the whole project.
Very much the whole personal project things we've done That's helped me a lot with public speaking. So it's helped me a lot just in my college classes, because every now and then I do have to do, a presentation or something, and it's, helped me very much get some good grades.
Having a calming space, nature, all those things really became part of the magic, if you will, of what makes TGS a comfortable, safe environment for learning for these kids.
We have students here, but we integrate them into the world as much as possible, whether that's through field trips all the way through internships.
End goal of any school should be to help its students lead fulfilling lives after they graduate. The Transitions program at TGS is focused on exactly that.
We have two unique requirements at our school that many other schools don't have. One is that every one of our students takes a college course on a college campus. And so that allows them to get to know just the different processes that are involved in taking a college class. Our students also complete at least one internship in which we coordinate with their specialists, and we have support here for further career exploration.
Having the school support with my first college class in high school tremendously helped me pass college classes on my own after I graduated from TGS.
I would love to get to the point where we are recognized, not for the sake of recognition, but that we're able to be disseminating what is the best practice and training other educators to work with these kids.
Nothing encapsulates the magic of TGS more than their graduation and continuation ceremony. To show their commitment to getting to know their student body, staff members write personalized poems describing the important thing about each student. These encouraging words by supportive adults come in frames, which students collect for when they need them. As an alumni, I can look back at the poems whenever I'm feeling down, and they inspire me every time.
The important thing about Ricky is that he is capable, even when the ground around him feels loose and shakeable. There are times when he trips and falls, but that does not stop him from getting back up and standing tall. It's because of this that he will continue to grow. If you look at his work ethic, you would know that it's not all for show. Driving for an hour to school and back, taking a college course, and putting pride into the work he displays. You would be surprised to know that even Ricky can feel afraid. Ricky, you are a capable student, friend, and all-around wonderful person. Even when you doubt yourself, just remember that you are your best version. I know that you are a kind, caring individual who will never stop trying. That is why your supports will continue multiplying. You are never alone in your endeavor, and the memories you will make will last forever and ever. The important thing about Ricky is that he is capable.
The important thing about Copeland is he's tenacious.
The important thing about Elliot is he is purposeful.
The important thing about Ben is his tender, intelligent, caring personality.
The important thing about Abby is that she is poetic.
The important thing about Grant is that Grant is honest.
The important thing about Harper is that she is passionate.
The important thing about Pluto is that he is brilliant.
The important thing about Quinn is that he is kind-hearted.
The important thing about Stella is that she is hardworking.
The important thing about Sparrow is that they are creative.
The important thing about Cecil is that he is ready.
The important thing about Lily is that she is a leader.
The important thing about Percy is that he is daring.
Realized after all of these years and all of these important thing poems, which I have enjoyed, not just the years when Justin was here, I've been to graduation other years as well. And they're always so moving and so touching. And we've never done an important thing about Jen poem. So I have one for today. The important thing about Jen is that she is steadfast, unwavering in her commitment to the Temple Grandin School, unconditional in her compassion for all who have passed through here. Her parents, Ruth and David Rood, gave life to Jennifer, and she has gone on to live a rooted life by positively impacting so many. Jen is a masterful virtuoso in her ability to conduct all aspects of her life. A gifted juggler, keeping many balls in the air, while adeptly changing among the multitude of hats in her collection. A supportive wife to Tom, loving mother to Micah, Jeremiah, Josie, and of course Groot. Sister to many, mentor to many more, and a friend to countless souls. Jen is a careful and constructive listener. She is a learner and an innovator, kind and caring. But don't let her easy smile and calm, serene energy fool you. She is a warrior, and she is fierce in her advocacy for neurodiverse students and their families. When confronted with difficult situations, her creative problem-solving prowess is unleashed. No one is better suited to stand at the helm and keep a ship in rough waters on the right course, because the important thing about Jen is that she is steadfast.
I'm very, very grateful. In some of my bio statements, I say that this is more than my life's work. I started this school because my son needed a school like this. And for all of your sons and daughters and non-binary people, this is always going to be a place for you, and I don't intend to leave it anytime soon, but even someday in the far away future, it will live on because of the contributions that you've all made as faculty and as community and families. So thank you.
So my message to the world is, I think that every person has inherent value and their own niche in the world, regardless of what they do or don't do.
Hey, if you're thinking about doing something crazy that might be crazy or drastic, take a step back.
I kind of wish more places like this existed, and if you have a way to maybe create one, go do it. Go create a safe space.
Get out and try a lot of different things. I tell that to all students.
You shouldn't just assume all autistic people just can't do anything for themselves, because they definitely can. The world would be a very boring and uninteresting place if we didn't have neurodivergent people in it. Whether that's autism or OCD or ADHD, anything.
Just do what you want and pursue whatever you think seems best for you. Listen to other people, but not to the extent of them taking over your life.
Love is stronger than fear. It sounds simplistic, but we have more of an investment in love and solidarity for one another.
That we need to solve the climate crisis.
Follow your dreams, follow your passions, have good friends, support your family, respect your parents, and yeah, come down to TGS, great place.
Autistic people aren't lazy or stupid or something to fear.
They're empathetic, they're great listeners, they're great friends. They're not any different from neurotypical people besides the way that we interact with the world. We don't deserve to be treated any different.
Thanks for watching. But if you're gonna stick around, I'd like to overshare my message. Put simply, I want you to care. Not just today or tomorrow, but throughout your life, whenever you can. And not just for those close to you, but for everyone you might be able to help. That's what I think really makes us human, when we help each other simply because it makes someone else's life better. You can and should be practical with this mindset, as our time and energy are finite resources, and different people will have different needs. But simply making the effort to care for others, even those you might not fully understand, will help you make the world a better place.